House Dems propose raising capital gains tax to 28.8%. The new rate would apply to gains realized after September 13th. In 2022, it would kick in for single filers with taxable income over $400,000 and for married couples at $450,000. Everyone is going to pay for this $3.5 trillion budget bill, ladies and gentlemen, or this budget plan. Everybody is going to pay for it. Corporate America is not going to pay for it. Your politicians are not going to pay for it. You and I are going to pay for this. It's Monday, September 13th, 2021. I want to share a few articles with you today, articles that I was reading this morning, and I want to get your input. You tell me what you think. I really want to know your opinion on where all this is going to lead us financially. I personally think this is going to lead this country into financial ruin. I think it's already begun. And I think that many people and many businesses across America have already financially been ruined. This article today from The Hedge, and you can pull this up anywhere, Google it, CNBC, CNN, The Hedge. U.S. budget deficit hits $2.7 trillion with 1 month left in fiscal 2021. Can it be any more clear to anybody watching this video today, including you, why you need to be preparing, why you must have assets, why you must have some cash put away? U.S. budget deficit hits $2.7 trillion with 1 month left in fiscal 2021. Now, I know that people are going to write me, they're going to Facebook me, and they're going to go, "You're crazy. This is doom and gloom. This is negative. You're out of your mind." Let me repeat to everyone watching this video. U.S. budget deficit hits $2.7 trillion with 1 month left in fiscal 2021. This is suicide, ladies and gentlemen, for a country. Now, I was a terrible student. I will admit that to all of you. I was a terrible, terrible student, hated school. But I can add 2 plus 2. And I understand that this is unsustainable. I understand that this means that a lot more money is going out than coming in. If you balanced your checkbook like this, you're going to be bankrupt very, very quickly. The repo man is coming to get your car very, very quickly. You will lose your house. You will lose everything if you budget your personal checkbook like this country is doing. This is a suicide mission. Another month, another $171 billion spent by the U.S. government, which this government does not have. The printing presses are overheating, ladies and gentlemen, and all of you now are beginning to realize and see every time you go to the store that this money printing is having huge repercussions on your purchasing power, your dollar. The continued spending spree was primarily due to continued welfare benefits. Let's take a look at where this money has gone. $93 billion to income security, $95 billion to Social Security, $71 billion to health, $52 billion to national defense, $42 billion is just interest on the debt. Imagine when interest rates go up, when the Fed rate goes up, how much interest we're going to be paying on the debt, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this is staggering. This is so concerning, and everybody is going to be affected by this. So to these people who think that this is doom and gloom and this is to scare you and this is for clicks and I'm out of my mind, why don't you just pull it up for yourself and ask yourself, you don't have to be an Einstein to figure out when you have this amount of money going out, more going out than coming in to this degree, you're going to be in very, very big trouble as a nation. This is psychotic. For March of 2020, the U.S. government deficit for the past 17 months is a stunning $5.1 trillion. This is unsustainable. So to those people out there who totally think that this is made up, that this is fear-mongering, that this is just pure craziness, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is absolutely unsustainable, and this is happening right now to your country. The U.S. will never again be able to fund itself using taxation alone, which now barely covers, get this, barely covers just 50% of the total U.S. budget deficit. The hedge today, Peter Schiff, inflation will win this fight in a knockout. I'm a big fan of Peter Schiff because he calls it the way he sees it, and he knows that this whole thing is a giant illusion, and if you're not preparing for this on a daily basis now, you're going to suffer the consequences. The Fed is in a monetary straitjacket, he says. Yes, it faces an inflation problem, but any meaningful moves to fight inflation will pull the props out from under this bubble economy. For now, the markets listen, but the Fed story is getting thinner. Transitory inflation? Is anybody believing that now? How many people a year ago were telling you and I that there will be no inflation? Impossible, not going to happen. No inflation coming to America. And as many of you have been writing me, sending me pictures of the store shelves empty, other supplies empty, hard to get certain products, the supply chain disruption is very apparent. And how many people told us that we could never see a Venezuela in America, that we would never see inflation soaring? These people telling us this have never read history. I was reading the comments the other day, and we were talking about emergency food, and somebody said, "Oh, 4 Patriot Supply food is terrible." Maybe they believe that. From all the reviews I've seen, it looks good. People reviewed it, said it tasted good. I have Mountain House, I have Wise, I have other companies. But at the end of the day, when you're hungry, you'll eat things you never thought possible. And these people who go, well, you shouldn't get this, you should get this because you won't eat this because it doesn't taste good. If you haven't eaten in a day, 2 days, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to taste very, very good. Go back to Venezuela. See how many dogs are running around, how many cats are running around. There are no loose cats, there are no loose dogs, and you can barely see a pigeon now. Guess what? Because people had to eat dogs and cats and pigeons and zoo animals. How many people think a pigeon would taste good, or a dog, or a cat? When we look at how long it takes before people start eating other people, it's about a couple weeks. So to these people out there that go, don't get this because it doesn't taste good. Ladies and gentlemen, a piece of leather will taste good after a couple of days if you haven't eaten. So buy what you want, but I think it's very important to have some sort of emergency food at this point. I don't care so much about taste. I'm looking at calories, because you're going to need calories. That's going to be the main concern, that you have calories to get through the day. For now, the markets listen, but the Fed story is getting thinner and thinner, as Mr. Schiff says. He goes on to say there is an end game. It isn't a happy ending for the economy. Inflation will win in a knockout punch. And sad but true, I believe that is going to be very, very true. How can they stop it? How are they going to stop it? I think they're going to have a very, very hard time stopping this inflation. We all know the answer. They're going to have to raise interest rates. And if that happens, we're going to see a massive Great Depression, the greatest depression in history right here in America. Somebody wrote me the other day, because I wanted to talk for a minute about New York. Top earning New Yorkers could face 61.2% combined tax rate under House plan. California may face 59% rate. Somebody wrote me the other day, JB, you've never been to New York, so you shouldn't talk about it. New York, you shouldn't judge New York. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't need to have ever been to New York to understand, and I don't need to be, again, anywhere close to New York to understand that if you raise taxes to this degree in New York, whether I've been there or not, and New York it's a tragedy. but I don't need to have been to New York to understand what is about to happen. I said the other day, it's over for New York. You look at the vacancies, you look at the amount of retail, you look at the amount of restaurants that have closed up, office buildings completely empty. What is it? 70, 80% of office buildings completely vacant, and you think it's not over? And now they want to raise taxes on top earning New Yorkers to 61.2%. It will be beyond over for New York. Top earners in New York could face combined city, state, and federal income tax rate of 61.2%. Top earning Californians could face a combined marginal rate of 59.7%. New Jersey, 57.2%. Hawaii, 57.4%. These top earners who own businesses and companies, guess what they're going to do? They're going to do what they've been doing already. They're going to leave California. They're going to leave New York. They're going to leave places like Hawaii and New Jersey. Many of them have already left. The ones that are still remaining, they're going to be out. You do this, they're out. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to take their money with them. They're going to take their businesses with them. And then at the end of the day, if they can't tax these people, they're going to tax the regular mom and pop New Yorkers. Somebody's going to have to pay up. These people, they're not going to allow this to happen. They're going to get on their private jets. They're going to move their businesses to Texas, to Arizona, to Tennessee, wherever, and they're getting out. And they're going to take all their money with them. And New York and places like New York, New Jersey, Chicago, they're falling right now. It's over. And these people aren't coming back. They're packing up and they're taking all their money and business with them. It is game over for places like New York and California, especially if they do this. I cannot believe these people, what these politicians are doing. Student loan borrowers, also on CNBC, shouldn't bank on forgiveness. Here's how to get ready for repayment. The only way you're going to get ready for repayment if you have student loan debt is you're going to have to get a job, plain and simple. And it's probably going to be in the service sector. Student loan borrowers have been hoping for news of forgiveness. Instead, they're getting reminders from their services that the bills will soon resume. The pause is scheduled to end January 31st, 2022. So it's right around the corner. Get ready to pay in February if you have student loan debt. All these people who thought that they weren't going to have to pay their bills, people who didn't pay their rent, didn't make the car payment, didn't make student loan payments because they were in forbearance. The bills are coming, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't know what it's going to look like in 2022, but I believe it's going to look much worse in 2022 than it does right now in 2021. Please comment down below. Love to know your thoughts. What are we in store for in 2022? Let me know what you think. I think it's going to be miserable. I think we could see some real horrific financial times here in America in 2022. I believe the housing market will really begin to correct in 2022. And I think that the homeless epidemic is just beginning. And we're going to see things we never thought we would ever see here in America. But look, they said that these things can't happen here in America. We can't have massive inflation. We can't have homelessness. We can't have empty shelves. We can't have car manufacturers not making cars. We can't have this in America because it's America. It's going to be very interesting to see what this country looks like in 2022. Another story from The Hedge today. Absolutely incredible. It cost 68 new Ferraris to rent a 12-year-old container ship for just 3 months. Now, if you base this on a $250,000 Ferrari, this is what it's going to cost to rent a container ship, a 12-year-old container ship for 3 months. $195,000 to $202,000 per day. Get ready to see prices of goods absolutely explode this winter. I can't even believe what this Christmas is going to look like. I think this will be one of the worst holiday shopping seasons on record, and prices are going to continue to accelerate into 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, I really pray that all of you are preparing. People have been misled. They've been fooled. They've believed everything that the television has been telling them. They watch these business channels and people in their $2,000 and $3,000 suits telling them to continue to jump in these markets, buy a house, buy a car, run the credit cards up, everything's going to be fine. It's never looked better. Look at the Dow Jones back up today. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? They just want the average person to continue to acquire more and more debt. When they pull the plug on this game, and they will, ladies and gentlemen, people have no idea what is going to happen to them. But again, these are people who believe this can never happen here in this country. These are people who believe everything on the television. These are people who believe everything their broker tells them, everything the bank tells them. The financial institution is safe and sound. The banks are safe. The dollar will never collapse. The pensions will never collapse. Look, if you believe that the dollar is never going to go away, if you believe that the dollar is going to be the world reserve currency forever, if you believe that the banking system is safe and sound, if you believe the financial system is safe and sound, if you believe your 401k is safe and sound, your pension, look, keep investing in these Ponzi schemes. Keep believing and saving up every dollar you can. Look, I'm not opposed to that. I think you should have some dollars, but continue to buy stocks, continue to invest in paper, continue to save dollars, and I wish you the best. Me, myself, I don't give financial advice, but you know how I think. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. I don't trust the banks. I don't keep a whole lot of money in the banks, and I certainly don't keep my faith in these financial institutions or these banks. I believe that you and I should be our own central banks. You and I should be responsible. You and I should be getting and detaching out of this system, because this system is on overload. It is melting down. And when it goes, it's going to go down so fast, it is going to absolutely make your head spin right off its body. It's going to be crazy. And people are going to be lost. They're not going to know what to do, because the system that they entrusted in for decades has collapsed. And there will be no answer other than, are you prepared? Can you survive? And can you get through this? I'm going to leave it there today. I want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart for all of your support, all of your prayers, and really supporting this channel. This channel is not possible without all of you. Please continue to keep me in your prayers. We now are in a spiritual war of good versus evil. So again, please keep me in your prayers. I really, really do appreciate those prayers. They're powerful. They keep me going. This is spiritual warfare, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just financial warfare. It is spiritual warfare. God bless all of you, and I look forward to talking to all of you very, very soon.